Is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Listen to other great tech podcasts at www.techpodcasts.com.
Yo, you are in the right place at the right time, listening to the right thing. Tech Webcast. Congratulations on choosing such an awesome thing to listen to. You are clearly very smart. You're into tech stuff. You love hearing Brad and Jason and their guests chat. And you're probably really good looking too. Well done. So let's get into it. The weekly tech extravaganza that is Tech Webcast. In 3, 2, 1, let's go!
And welcome to episode 229 of the Tech Webcast podcast, recorded on the 9th of March 2013. Tech Webcast is recorded every Saturday and rebroadcast on Aussie Tech Heads on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Your hosts today are Brad, Jody, Billy, Steve, and myself, Andrew. And we have a special guest today. It is Tony Wang from the TwiT network. How you doing today, Tony?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, thanks. How are you, Brad?
I'm going pretty well, mate. And you?
Yeah, good, buddy, good.
And hello, Tony. Good to have you on, mate.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can't wait to ask you some pretty damn hard questions. Jody, what's up?
We had an incredibly surprising snowfall today, which it's March. And usually around this time we start spring, but we had snow. The other exciting news is that WebMarcom was featured as one of the top 39 blogs that you ought to be reading by HubSpot. So neat stuff, yeah.
Very cool stuff. Steve, what's up?
Yeah, my show is the 30 least tech blogs ever to be watched, ever. But
blog.
That's incredible.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I'm doing quite good.
Billy, what's up?
We too here in the Arizona desert are having a snowstorm.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, we had hail here today.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Huh.
All right. So Jody, we're gonna call Chris Voss during the show or not?
No, he says he's busy. He's out at South by Southwest, SXSW.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of us who've been watching all the news out there, it seems like they're having a heck of a lot of fun and too much fun to come on the podcast. So we'll have to catch up with them at another time.
Yes, maybe next week. If you have the highlight up, you can check it out there. Because Robert Scoble and stuff are posting photos on there.
Yeah, Scoble stood us up as well.
Yes, he did. But I think he said yes, but he must have misunderstood the question.
I think, yeah, he said yes, but I think he thought you meant right away. And then when he realized it was later, that's when he kind of, I think he might have had some commitment for the evening. So
yeah, that's understandable. And yeah, that's all good. All right.
They're out there partying.
Yep. Andrew, any news, mate, you want to report on?
It's been a pretty busy week for myself with the Zafo business. We just moved into some new premises here in Richmond, Victoria, Australia. So we've been sort of getting set up there. So that's pretty much been what I've been up to this week, and just keeping an eye on South by Southwest.
You forgot one thing, mate.
What's up, buddy?
The iPad Mini.
And the iPad Mini, yes. Myself and Brad went earlier this week and picked up an iPad Mini, which was a co-investment between Brad, Tech Webcast, and Zafo, so we can start really getting our Zafo app running. So that's been exciting, getting my head around that. I've got the bigger iPad, but the iPad Mini, it's a whole lot different. I'm really enjoying it, actually.
Are you on that now, or you left it at home?
No, I've got it right here in front of me. So
nice. You can Skype on it.
No, I'm actually not using Skype on it. I'm using that on the desktop just because I find better quality for the show.
Oh, good.
But it's really good. It's so portable.
It is.
Yeah.
Very portable. Your audio is very clear.
Yeah, I've just got through my laptop here and through a Logitech mid-range microphone. So yeah, it's good.
Good stuff, mate. Enjoy.
Cheers, buddy.
Billy, jump into some news, mate.
Yeah, the headlines or just in general?
Both. What have you been doing?
All the above.
Well, this past week I've been living in SimCity. That game came out and I just love it. So
wow. Okay. SimCity.
Yeah, you did kind of warn us that you were going to be buried in that for a bit.
Yes, yes. And had it not been for some of the server congestion, I probably would have like lost complete track of time. So
I've got a friend who's so into it. It's not funny. And she's got on her Facebook feed, like every day there's 10 or 20 photos. And the quality resolution of that game is just mind blowing.
oh, it's incredible. I mean, you zoom in and you can like see the little people walking around and you can like follow them throughout their day. And it's really crazy because I go all the way back to the little computer people back on the Commodore 64 as far as simulations. So this is like hog heaven for me.
Absolutely.
Well, we're glad you came out of it to come on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. All right. You got some news stories you want to speak about, mate?
Yes. So in the tech headlines, NASA's Mars rover Curiosity is on the road to recovery from last week's computer glitch, and it could be back into action as early as this weekend, officials say. And if vending machines can dispense beer, pizzas, and movies, why not 3D printed objects? Well, Dreambox is a vending machine that aims to fuel the 3D printing revolution by combining the hyper-local convenience of Redbox with cutting-edge 3D printing technology. And if rumors are true, the upcoming Samsung Galaxy S4 will feature a rather innovative way to scroll called Smart Scroll. The phone can apparently scroll based on a user's head angle. And the iPhone is evidently killing it in the enterprise at Android's expense. Data from Ignite, which offers cloud backup and storage services, shows that iOS devices are growing. Looking at 100,000 of Ignite's paying customers over the last year and a half, they tracked what OS were used to access the services. iOS jumped from 68% in 2011 to 78% in 2013, with Android dropping from 30 to 22%. And in other Apple news, they have a new patent application that shows that Apple's been thinking hard about how it might be possible for users to resell or lend digital content that they've purchased in the past. And if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, listen up. Marvel has released its new Marvel Unlimited app, which brings you direct access to over 12,000 back issues of your favorite Marvel titles in a buffet-like system. For a monthly or annual fee, you can access titles that are 6 months old on, and even download up to 6 issues to keep on your device for offline reading. And those are your tech headlines.
Great news stories, Billy. That Samsung phone's going to be very interesting to look at.
Yeah, I'm interested about this Smart Scroll.
Same here. You have any views on them stories, Andrew?
Yeah, look, it's just interesting with the how industry and enterprise is still really killing it with the iPhone. I mean, there's this whole move at the moment that everyone's going to Android. Google Glass is coming. But I think for usability and because it's just been there for so long, the enterprise is still sort of hanging around with the iPhone. So it's really interesting how there's a lot of consumer talk about moving away from it, but yet enterprise is holding on. So it's just a different balance to what's being said a whole lot in the news lately with Apple apparently losing its command.
Well, Apple better bring out a good iPhone this year.
Absolutely. I'm really hoping they go with the iPhone 6 and the 5S.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it curious how quiet they've been this year?
Yeah, that is
Yes.
very
I mean, here we are going into March. We've had no announcement about a new phone, no thing about the TV, nothing about a mini or an iPad or nothing. And, March is usually iPad month.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a really good point.
That is a good point. Steve, what do you think?
Talking about the Android on for business and enterprise versus, I guess, the iPhone or even the iPad. I kind of wondered if it has to do something with security. Perhaps that's why they're sticking with the iOS devices. I know Android had some problems with malware and things like that. I figure that might be some of the reasons.
All right. Jody?
I think we missed one of the big stories this week, and that's when on Thursday, Facebook unveiled their new news design. And they're going to something that's more like a magazine format. I don't know if you guys signed up to get on the waiting list for the new design, but
what is the link to the waiting list?
I can send it to you, or we can put it in the show notes.
Yeah, just send it to us. I want to get on there.
Just
Okay,
Google it. It's on there if you Google it. There's an article on TechCrunch or Mashable or something about it.
Is there?
Yeah,
Yep.
and in fact, Brad, I had posted it earlier, like yesterday. If you go through my feed, it would be probably like midway through the day yesterday.
All right, I'm looking at it right now.
So, yeah, I thought I had told you.
What do you think
Yeah,
of
you
it,
have to
Jody? Do you
sign
like
up.
it?
You know what? I think here's what really frightens me. Every time Facebook changes something, they blow up all of the privacy settings. I have no expectation that this time will be any different. I like the fact that they evolve. I think it should be something that you can opt into when you're ready to. But it seems like when they roll these things out, you really don't have much of a choice. So,
Yeah, definitely.
And I also think that it's kind of an attempt on their part to get us to stay in Facebook longer. And frankly, I'm probably in there too much as it is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are saying it's very Google Plus like the way that you've got that main area and you sort of scroll on the left and right hand sort of stays with it. So it's got a lot of Google Plus about it. I actually think it looks really good. I think it's a good evolution, but that's just from looking at the demo that they've got. So it'll be really interesting when it comes out. But I rather enjoy the fact that with the new interface, they're allowing you to actually have a look at all of your friends' feeds. There are times where I'm sitting there, watching a movie, I'm not doing much, and I don't want to just see what EdgeRank has decided, I want to see from the last 15 or 20 friends. I might want to go nuts and see everything that's being posted from all of my friends. So I quite like that idea.
I think that's a good idea too.
That's good, Jody.
And I think also Jason from TechRU is listening to the podcast. Thanks for the link. When I mentioned the news feed, Jody, he just sent me a link on Twitter. So, hey, Jason, thanks for the link, mate. Mm-hmm. If you are listening, by the way. It's just weird how he gave me a link for the Facebook thing.
I'm sure he is listening.
He probably is. Tony, what do you think about these stories?
I haven't used Facebook outside of my phone in a while, so I'm waiting for it to come out to my phone, I guess, for the mobile version. But I'm a Google Plus user. Surprisingly.
It seems more tech-oriented anyway, Google Plus, compared to Facebook, obviously.
All right, shout out to TechRU. He's listening. Hello, Jason from TechRU. Good to have you on the show. Tuning.
Happy listening.
Happy listening. Yeah, happy listening. Yeah. So you use Plus, do you, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I guess because I'm more I'm inclined to the photography community, so I'm always posting my pictures on there, and it's a pretty easy way to share my photos, I guess. Yeah, it's a big photo community up there, so.
Yep, sure.
And they recently changed the big picture at the top. I mean, it's huge now. Have you changed yours?
You can actually resize it. You have to resize it to make it look right.
Yeah, I think it's actually too big now.
Yeah, it is.
Me too.
I think they got scared with the new MySpace where the whole thing is basically a picture, and they thought, maybe people want to go that direction. But I think it's too big as well.
I mean, do you guys use MySpace?
Never.
I've signed up for the new MySpace. I don't use it so much as I'm in there now and then just to have a look at what they're sort of doing, just to try and get a broad area. I think as far as user interface, as far as usability, I think they've taken some real risks, but I actually like some of what they're doing. But I just think they went too crazy with, just a number of things in there that didn't quite work out properly. So there's been a few challenges. And I guess the biggest challenge they've got is that they didn't use people's initial MySpace friend lists and stuff like that. They asked you to cultivate it all again.
Oh.
So, Steve, what do you think about the new Facebook news feed?
I haven't seen it yet. I didn't realize you had to sign up for it or something.
No, you don't have to sign up for it, mate. You just there's a story and none about it and stuff.
Oh. It's sort of the waiting list, I think.
Yeah, waiting list.
But they're trying
there's photos
of people
who
really want it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get it earlier.
I want it. Our own looks great, fantastic.
Well, I like to always try things, but getting back to MySpace, I agree with you, Andrew. I think that they did take some risks, but frankly, it's another time suck. Like you only have so many hours in a day. Where are you going to be?
Yeah, exactly right. And I like that they've taken those risks, but I'm not convinced they worked out by any means.
Yeah, I mean, you say MySpace, I'm like, oh yeah, they did a redesign. Completely forgot. Dropped off my radar. It's not where the people are.
Yeah, it's kind of like Path too. I know Path just released a new refresh for their app. And honestly, I know, Brad, you really like it. To me, it's kind of like, oh, man, I just don't have the time.
I don't really like it. I just like the new design of it. I don't really use it that much.
Yeah. But Brad and I had lunch this week, and we sort of chatted about Path. It's a really clean, nice user interface. It's a great app, but they just don't really offer anything that the other social apps are offering. I think someone needs to actually go crazy and offer something else. I mean, with my platform, we're trying to do a lot around video and these sorts of things as well. Path it's great, but it's updates.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit like Facebook, really. Tony, so what else do you like about the new stories? Any other mentioning else?
I saw you guys had a story about 3D printing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually met Bree once at CES a couple of years ago, and he's a very down to earth guy and from MakerBot. He's a CEO of MakerBot, I think. So yeah, I'm waiting for the whole 3D printing thing to take off, so I can print my own cell phone case and my own pretty much anything that I need. And I mean, the material they're using right now, the ABS plastic, I mean, they're not toxic, but I think they do have a temperature restriction. I think like 200 degrees Celsius or something. But other than that, I mean, I see this whole new sort of DIY tech industry taking off. And I don't know if you guys saw the Kickstarter project for 3 Doodler, where you can draw your own 3D designs.
Mm-hmm.
That was really
pretty
cool.
wild. You draw in 3D space.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool project. That the Doodler one with the pen. There's been a fair bit mentioned about that. They're obviously quite pioneering, and they've had a whole lot of support, which I think really shows that the community does want this sort of thing. They're ready to go into that. But I think the biggest issue with it is sort of around copyrights and patents and these sorts of things. If I can all of a sudden, get something, pull it apart and start printing it off, I mean, what changes does that sort of provide for copyright holders and for potential R&D for new products and things that can be created?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, that's going to be the new legal frontier to see what happens, when you can just go print what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
What else, Jody, do you want to mention?
Yeah, I was just going to say the 3D printers have been out for a while, but they've been used a lot in industry for making prototypes for components for building things. When you want to create something as the model, that's usually what they were using it for, and then they would mold the pieces based upon whatever it was that they made. But I mean, we're talking 10 years they've been.
I hear a dog. All right. We got Tony from the TwiT Network. Tony, welcome, mate, to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
That was a fast segue to the guest. So, mate, you work on the TwiT Network. You do all the editing and stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, I started out as an editor and sort of doing some producing and also some managing now that the company is growing really big. So,
what's it like working with Leo Laporte?
Oh, he is. He has so much. He's like everything. Like I don't even know how to describe him. Like it's. He's probably the most interesting person I've ever met.
Okay, all right.
And it's so hard to describe because I worked with him for so long that it's. What can I say? You got to work with him to know him.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. How long have you worked at on the TwiT?
I've been here since 2008.
Wow, some time.
Yeah,
good stuff. What's your favorite thing about working there?
Definitely the technology. I mean, I'm sort of a nerd and a geek, and so before I worked here, I'm already consuming these stories and trends and things. So
good stuff. So do you work there every day?
Yep, I'm a full-time employee here.
Do you want to just give us a quick overview of what the TwiT Network is for listeners out there who may not quite know exactly what you guys do?
Oh, sure. Yeah. TwiT.tv is Leo likes to call it the Netcast Network. And he started after the Tech TV days as a hobby and sort of grew into this huge online community. We do, I believe, over 20 shows a week, and they're streamed live while recording it, and also is available for download in audio and video format as well. So we cover all the tech news out there. I think we have everything covered, I hope. There's Windows, there's Mac, there's open source, there's cloud computing, there's hardware, there's some software in the shows, but yeah, we have everything covered when it's tech.
There you go.
Okay, question. Tony,
Okay.
I'm reading in your bio. It says that you like bikes and cars. And the bikes, it says the kind with motors, not pedals. What are you riding?
Oh, I ride. I have a couple motorcycles. I have a Yamaha and a Ducati.
Oh, you're into crotch rockets.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, yes.
Okay. I ride a
sorry.
Harley. That's why I was curious.
Oh, okay, cool.
We saw up on your Google Plus you almost had an encounter with a deer.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
first time having a deer crossing my path. That was quite something. Yeah,
And were you doing the
It's not
speed limit at that time?
I was. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Gotta keep it safe.
So seriously, how did you come to TwiT? I mean, did you just like walk in one day and say, "Hey guys, I want to work here"? I mean, how did you guys find each other?
So it was actually through my friend calling at the time. She just started working at TwiT, and she was actually helping Leo setting up the whole video stream equipment and setting up his new desk and his new studio. And she just asked me one day, "Hey, we need an editor at TwiT. You want to do it?" I'm like, "Sure."
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm still here.
What was your biggest surprise about, what you were being asked to do?
Biggest surprise. What do you mean? Like,
I guess I'm kind of alluding to there was an episode, I guess, where they were discussing Asian, and you were disappointed with what they were saying about.
are you talking about
cultural?
NSFW?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Like the
sorry. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that was just you have to watch that episode to see it, but it was a joke about
Oh, okay.
a YouTube video. Yeah,
Funny.
yeah. I figured I had some fun with the editing, so I edited myself to the show, like in the corner, like me disapproving the two hosts talking about things. Yeah. I mean, they're all in good fun and they're really funny. So I love those guys. Brian, Justin.
I guess
definitely.
I guess it's one of the perks being
Tony,
on the show.
question for you. How is Sarah Lane after the car accident? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's good. She's doing fine. Got a new car, so that's always good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
yeah. She had a bit of a scare, I guess, because of the whole construction in that that new tunnel in San Francisco. So yeah.
Unbelievable that. I couldn't believe when we had it on Twitter. It's crazy. And Kevin Rose, if you've met Kevin Rose, I'm sure you have.
I've said hi to him a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one
He's usually
we want to get on the show.
He's usually busy, so.
Okay, so who's your favorite TwiT person who does the show on there?
You mean other than Leo?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't pick a favorite. Sarah, I guess.
Yeah, Sarah's cool. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Yep. Steve, any questions for Tony?
Yeah, of course. Your editor. I mean, if you're doing 20 shows, I'm sure you got help doing the editing. But what kind of workload do you have just for a week?
You mean editing wise, or?
Yeah, is it just editing? I mean, do you have meetings to how you edit together, or what's your average work week?
Yeah,
like?
I mean, there's a lot to. I mean, there isn't, like, technically we don't do a lot of, like, you see a lot of YouTube video that have more production than our podcast, because we're about the content. So there is less actual editing and more about sort of managing so basically we have to make sure we don't break our feed. If our feed is broken, then that's not good because people don't get our shows. So there's more to being an editor here than just like editing the show itself. There's exporting, there's uploading, there's all these other things. Make sure the RSS doesn't break, and yeah.
Well, I'm guessing
Things
too,
like that.
you're probably using TriCasters that do the switching, so you're recording this, so it probably makes your job a little easier, I guess, right?
Yeah, and it also makes it a little bit harder when, if something happens, like, it's hard to fix because the live editing has already been done. So it's like I can't get a shot of Leo if it was already switched to somebody else live. So yeah.
So while there's multiple cameras, they're not all recording something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the TriCaster has the ability to do that, but we don't have like our turnaround. We want to get the shows out as soon as possible because they're news related. So we don't try. I mean, we're doing as much live to tape as possible.
All right, good answer. Tony, have you been? Have you ever been to Australia before?
No.
Are you planning on to come to Australia at all?
Someday I will if I make it over there. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you bring the whole TwiT people with you.
The whole studio.
That's hard.
Just do the show from Australia.
Yes.
Brad has a lot of money. He'll pay for you guys all to come over.
Jacob does his credit card. Talking of Jacob Jones, he wanted me to mention the event that's happening on April the 3rd. He's doing some fundraising or something like that.
Yeah, he's got a fundraising event there for an iPad Mini, I believe, to try and get Jacob Jones going. So that one's sort of floating around Twitter, around Google Plus.
It is. Isn't it?
Hey, Tony, what's the funniest thing that you've had to remove, sort of edit out of a tweet cast because it just sort of wasn't appropriate?
There's so many. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
But there's certainly times where there's just something happens and you wish you could put it in, but you can't leave it in.
Have you ever made a blooper reel?
Yeah, I mean we do we try to do a best of the certain show end of the year, like the Christmas episode, and there's a lot of blooper things in there, and I try to save as much of the blooper stuff as I can. I think the coolest thing that, well, I didn't have to cut out because Leo was doing it, but Leo was planking on the desk and he was doing, like, he was completely straight, and I was amazed at how strong his core was. I think that was Windows Weekly.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, he was, yeah, and then he was kind of hurting for the next day, but yeah.
Oh, I've got a good question, Tony.
Go ahead.
How about when you're live, doing this live, like you're at NES or one of these tech shows? I mean, how do you pull this off live? I'm guessing you can't really edit it per se unless it's recorded later and then you do it, or.
Yeah, so when we used to, so we covered CES a little bit this year, but in the previous years when we did like the whole stage setup, we would have there's a lot of production going into it where we have to plan the shows accordingly, making sure all the live guests like get there on time. And then in terms of editing, we're actually doing, what we were doing was the same thing that we were doing in studio. I mean, we brought a TriCaster and we brought Mac Pros and we edited everything there, and it's kind of all very hectic because everybody's crammed into the little space behind the stage. And yeah, so
did you bring like a big van or something, or a semi truck, or?
Yeah, so we like flew people out there, and then we also rented like a huge white panel van with no windows, and we crammed everything in there. So, yeah.
Wow. Jody, would you ever go on the TwiT network?
Oh, absolutely. That'd be a blast.
Which show would you go on?
Oh, which one? Whichever one they'd let me on, to be honest.
What would you be well suited for? What show would?
I would love to sit next to Leo.
So,
no, I mean,
okay.
you know what? Honestly, the content has been excellent. I enjoy the network.
Yeah.
So, really any of them would be dynamite.
Okay, Tony, I have a request for you to ask Leo Laporte. Can you ask him if he could put Tech Webcast on the network?
Oh, no promises.
There's probably a waiting list.
Tell him to listen to this podcast, okay? This episode.
Sure. Yeah, just not this episode.
This one. I want this one. Yeah.
You don't want to get Tony in trouble.
No. But, I'm sure you could ask him. You could probably say no, but, you've asked.
So, Tony, quick question. Do you just do the TwiT stuff too, or do you also, when he does the Tech Guy radio show on the weekends, is that technically still TwiT, or is that Premier Radio?
That is like both, I think. So it's Premiere Radio when it's live, but
Right.
afterwards, then we could put it out as a podcast.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So what else do you do at TwiT, Tony? So do you work there from 9 to 5 and stuff?
Yeah, I'm more like 10 to 6, but yeah, 9 to 5.
Wow.
And
So what's next on for TwiT? Where do you guys sort of see the company going? Is there any sort of anything you can tell us about where you want it to go?
I mean, other than adding more shows, I'm not sure. I mean, if we ever move, I would say moving to San Francisco, maybe. I don't know.
What sort of new shows are going to be added? Tony, can you give it a couple?
Well, the most recent one, or the upcoming one, would be Chad Johnson's Minecraft show.
Okay, cool.
That's going to start beginning of April. Yeah.
Good stuff.
So,
Good stuff.
and beyond that, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you listen to many podcasts at all yourself, Tony?
Yes, but I'm sort of limited, an hour of a day. I mean, I try to catch the shows live while we're recording here, but I guess I would say the one I watch the most is probably Tech News Today. Just, I can catch it on my commute home from work.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I do agree that the TwiT network does need some sort of Australian show on there. Australian film there. Do you agree, Andrew?
It'd be great to get some Australian content because we are, of course, 10 hours ahead of everyone over in the States. So get your news first.
Exactly. What do you think about it, Tony?
Yeah, news from the future.
Exactly. That would be good.
There you go. There's the
back
show
in
title
time.
right there.
There you go. Me and Andrew can host it, and then we can send it to you, Tony.
Could you guys do video?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
We sure can.
Can you organise that at all or not?
No promises?
Doesn't like put him on the spot.
Okay, let's not ask him awkward questions.
So what about photography? You said you're a hobby photographer. What's the sort of the best? I mean, what camera do you use, and what's the best location, the most sort of fun location shot that you've done?
I have a 5D Mark II right now, and I upgraded from the Mark I to the Mark II when the Mark III came out. So the price dropped, and I don't need the greatest and best because I'm not a paid professional photographer, but I actually really enjoy taking pictures in the studio.
Okay,
Like
so
I like
real life capturing the moment.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's tricky because if people see you with a camera, then they start posing or they stop doing what they're doing. So it's sort of this, like a cat and mouse hunting thing almost, where I go around and I try to take pictures of people while they're not paying attention or something. Or yeah.
Okay.
Where can we see your pictures?
They're on Google Plus.
Okay.
So yeah, I have a folder named work, so you can see all the fun things behind the scenes on there.
What sort of technology do you like to use when in your spare time, Tony? Like Xbox and that sort of stuff. Do you use Xbox? Play the Xbox?
Yeah, I had a Xbox. I had the Halo 3 edition for 3.5 years, and then Microsoft, if you're listening, I'm still very angry about this. And they rolled out a major software update.
Yes.
That included the avatars, and that bricked my Xbox.
Oh no.
And then I sent in a ticket to them, and they actually extended my warranty. So I was very happy. I sent it back to them. They gave it back to me. I booted it up, and they didn't install the update. So when I went to install the update again, it bricked my Xbox again. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I bought a PS3. So.
Oh, okay. You're a PS3 fan now, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
I also have a Vita. I don't know where it is.
Okay. What sort of phone do you have? iPhone or Android?
Right now I'm Android and Windows Phone 8.
Okay.
Windows Phone 8.
Windows Phone 8. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
What's that?
We found a Windows Phone person.
Jeez.
It's great.
You're adventurous.
What
You
about
don't like downloading apps then?
No, I don't.
Does that run Windows RT?
No.
So Tony, what about you? What about a tablet? What tablet do you use?
I used to have iPads, but now they've gone to my parents, and then I got a Surface RT, and then that was kind of slow. So I'm actually, my current tablet is the Acer W7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice one. All right, JD, any more questions before we finish up?
There's like 6 Tony Wangs going on out here in Google Plus, and which one? I'm trying to figure out which one is the real Tony Wang.
It's the one with the fisheye lens shot, I think.
Okay, well, there's one that says works at TwiT LLC, but your last post on there was 2011.
Oh,
we have multiple accounts here.
Yeah, I do. It's kind of confusing.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one. Okay, so
that's the evil clone.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so when Google Plus came out, I signed up using my phone, but then it was only tied to the one Gmail account you have. So after they did the update, I used a different account, and then I also used one for work, and then I closed that one, so I have 2.
Yeah, it would be nice if they had a way you could consolidate them. Okay, yeah, this is I was already following this account, so yeah, okay. I see the fisheye lens. There's the motorcycles. Yeah, this looks like you. All right.
Oh. So Tony, have you been keeping up with the South by Southwest news?
Nope. What's going on over there?
I don't know. I was going to see if you could tell me.
There's a lot of partying and drinking. Everybody's going to press events, but they're not going to remember because they're all drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a good synopsis. Yeah,
it is.
It is. Tony, do you party much?
Do I what?
You drink a lot, or you got them sort of things?
Jeez.
That's the requirement to work at TwiT. No, I'm just kidding. No, we all had that phase like in college, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. We all look back now like that was so silly. Damn, I wish I was still doing that. That was so much fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
my body can't handle it anymore, so I don't drink that much.
That's good. That's good. I don't drink either. Jody, do you drink?
Do I drink? It's not that I don't drink. I'm not a big drinker, though.
Okay.
Let me guess, Brad. You probably. Yeah, Brad. I bet you drink a lot, right?
Do we have a liquor sponsor? I mean, what are we doing here?
No, we're not.
Can we get one?
Sponsored by Absolute Vodka.
Australian for beer.
I'd rather have the Clydesdales. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. What do you want to ask?
Yeah, it was more a question for you. No, that was it.
What was the question?
You drink a lot of beer, right?
No, I don't drink beer, mate. I hate it.
Oh, really?
I don't drink beer. So, Tony, what else can you tell us about the TwiT network and stuff that we don't know about? Do you get a lot of people come in during the day and stuff?
I told you. Tony, did I tell you this was going to be difficult? We were going to ask you the tough questions.
The tough questions.
The
ones you can't answer.
We have visitors pretty much every day.
Yep.
I think because we have like an open studio policy, but I think if you just email us like info@twit.tv, so we'll make sure that you're here on a day when Leo's here. Like we had a fan that came in today and clearly looking forward to meeting Leo, but it's Leo's day off. And
okay, fair enough.
So that was me when I was up there.
I'm sorry.
No, I actually got to meet him at NAB, so I got to actually meet Leo. So, but I got to see the facility, and it's incredible. I have to tell. Is it a year old now?
Yeah, like a year and a half. Yeah,
that sounds about right. I think.
Wow. I lost track of time. I don't know.
All right, Jody. Any more questions for Tony before we go? Any more questions?
No, we look forward to listening and watching, and appreciate. You're being on. Where can we find you online other than TwiT TV and Google Plus? Now that we know the right.
I have a fun way for people to find me. Like if you Google Tony Wang, the first of his name, you would find me.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. And you're also on Twitter as well. Follow you on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm Twitter not as active on Twitter. But
okay. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Andrew, where can I get you on Twitter, mate? on Facebook?
You can get me at zarfo.com/@Andrew or facebook.com/Ari from Oz, ARIFROMOZ, and the same at Twitter.
All right, and me, Brad Oz on Tech Webcast. Steve, where can they get you?
You can find me on Twitter at chatterbox_live, and of course on justin.tv/LinusCoolDude, where you can watch the live version of the Tech Webcast.
Yep, well done, Steve. And also, Steve, Jacob's got a request for you. Can you mention the event again, please? You asked me to ask you.
The event?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fundraising. I don't know much about it. I just heard about it when you mentioned it, which is...
Okay, well, anyway, wanted me to ask you to mention it.
Okay, yeah, there's a fundraiser with Jacob Jones, also known as Jazzbot.
All right. Jody, what do you think about the fundraiser?
You don't want to know.
Billy, where can you get on Twitter? Sorry, I'm just... Go ahead.
You can find me at That iPad Guy across all the different social networks,
Stuff.
including MySpace now.
Oh, well, good one. Are you still doing the podcast, mate?
I haven't done a video one in a while just because I've just been so crazy busy the last couple months.
All right, good stuff. And also, I just want to mention Tango is now on the iPad, so check that out if you've got an iPad. Tango, it's a really good app to use on the iPad. They just put it on the iPad the other day. It's really nice. What else? Andrew, do we want to mention?
Basically, we had the competition for somebody to come up with what the terminology of Zarfo actually means.
Okay.
And that was a co-competition between Tech Webcast and Zarfo. And we have a winner for that competition, Brad, who I can announce.
Go ahead, mate. Who is the winner?
We've got Tiff Tate. Tiff Tate has won that competition, so she will be getting an Apple TV out to her.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, so she's actually a student. Where are we? She is a student of film, video, and photography at Columbia College in Chicago. So you will be getting an Apple TV out your way. We may even try and get her on the show at some point to say hello and get a photo shot through or something. Well done, Tiff.
But wait a minute. What does Zarfo mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Zarfo. It's an Arabic term zarf, which means a container. An O is an online chat symbol when communicating an expression of the mouth. So the mouth is an O. So therefore, Zarfo's definition is a vessel for communicating online, verbally.
Wow.
So Zarf in Arabic actually means a container. So therefore, it's a vessel for communicating of the mouth.
Wow. That's unbelievable. That's fantastic. Good on you.
There you go. So we had a few really good entries.
That's a hard...
Good on you, Tiff Taff. Well done.
Yeah, it's a hard one to get through.
What was the other entries, mate?
I don't have those in front of me, unfortunately, so I'll have to follow up with that next week or something.
All right. So does she need to get in contact with you, or what have we do?
We'll get in contact with Tiff, and we'll shoot her out a message, and go through from there.
How do we send an Apple TV to the USA?
Congratulations.
It's called Amazon.com. We will make this thing happen.
No, we can probably just PayPal the money.
Yeah, we'll work it out. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Yep, all good. Tony, you want to mention anything before we go, mate? How was your experience on the podcast, mate? Did you like it?
Yeah. I'm a little caught off guard because I didn't get the questions ahead of time, but it was fun.
That's what you get when you come on this podcast, mate. Anything could happen.
Impromptu.
Thank you for having me.
It's all good, mate. Come back anytime, Tony. Enjoy your work on TwiT Network. I love it, and great shows.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Steve, what's your last message on it before we go?
Oh, no, I already pretty much said it.
All right, Jody, you want to say anything before we go?
Just you can find me on Twitter as Sunswept. Find me at webmarcom.net or A2SM, Addicted to Social Media. And that's pretty much it.
All right, and how did your dog win? By the way, I meant to ask you that.
It was a trial match. It wasn't actually for an award. It was just like a practice.
Cool.
So,
right.
He did great.
Good stuff. And check out Zarfo.com, Andrew.
Yeah, check out Zarfo.com. Have a look at it. We're building up. We're doing an app at the moment, which should be available in the next few months.
Can't wait.
And so thanks for being on, Tony. I've really appreciated having a good chat to you. And yeah, be checking out twit.tv, guys.
Definitely. Check out this podcast as well on the iTunes. And Steve, Jacob Jones, you two lost the game.
Hi, Glenn from Aussie Tech Heads. Join Will, Eric and myself as we bring you the latest, most up-to-date important tech news that affects you from Australia and the world. Weekly podcast available each Friday through iTunes. Watch the live stream recording of the show at live.thesecrethub.com each Thursday night 7:30pm or GMT plus 10. Call in live via Skype or chat in our lounge. However you get us, just make sure you do. Listen or visit our website for more information, www.aussietechhead.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's longest running tech news podcast.
Well, that's it for Tech Webcast this week. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed having your mind expanded. Tune in next week for more tech talk with Brad, Jason, and whatever crazy guest they've managed to rope in. Don't forget to get the Tech Webcast app from iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at Tech Webcast, and of course check us out on Facebook too. Until next time, may the tech be with you. Peace.